So we are
Um,
live, yeah.
oh yes, hi
Yes,
everybody
hi
who join us.
everyone. Hi, hi. So today we are here with Anfernee to talk about. I hope I said that right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, to talk about how to grow your Substack audience and also how to monetize with external sources. It's really exciting topic. Hi, Jeff. Hi. A lot of people are joining.
I and yes,
Hi, and so yeah, welcome.
thank you for having me.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Just before this, we were saying that it really depends on the target audience, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. So, but maybe before that, a little bit about me. I'm not a Substack growth expert, but
yeah.
I write about solopreneurship, but the tools that I like to use and I really enjoy using is Notion, AI, stuff like that, and therefore naturally I write about them. Right. So so going back to the question of growing or monetizing beyond Substack.
Yes,
Um, and as I was saying, it really depends on the audience because you see, Substack are all basically writers, right? So when I first came in, I realized, oh, everybody's a writer. So I also find it difficult to find my target audience
yeah,
in Substack. Primarily because everybody here is their focus is growing their subscriber, and therefore naturally, um, the the type of newsletter that thrive in Substack are those newsletter that talks about growth in Substack.
yes,
Yeah, it's just like in the saying whereby when people are rushing to dig gold, you sell the shovel, right? So
yeah, exactly.
so people like me, myself,
Yeah,
I write about entrepreneurship. I don't write about Substack growth.
yeah,
We are the in the growing platform, we are always the second class citizen, right?
yes,
So
yes, yes,
yeah, so there's a very important uh need for us writers like us who don't focus on growth who doesn't focus on writing about growth in Substack for us to bring in our own subscribers,
yes,
uh, primarily people who are interested in what we write about,
yes,
right?
yes.
So
Usually people bring their own subscribers like from import, but you have another method which is very interesting.
yeah, so when I started Substack just about a year ago, I started last year, 18
Yeah,
April.
yeah,
So actually in 7 days time, I'm celebrating my 1 year
yeah,
in Substack. So and you're right, when I came in, I have zero, um, really zero, because I don't have any other email list and stuff like that. So so when I came in, it was quite difficult to grow
yeah,
initially. And uh, so what I did is I used my digital product knowledge uh, to grow my Substack. So I treat my Substack like a digital product,
yeah,
right? So naturally, what we do in the digital product world is we create lead magnet,
yes,
right? So I created tons of lead magnet, and of course, that's how we managed to get people to subscribe to our newsletter, right? So if you want to get this, subscribe to the newsletter, right?
yes,
And
yes,
of course, for me, there's another very interesting funnel that I created, which I use Threads, right? So
yes,
Thread was just launched recently. Typically, we always want to target the new social media platforms.
yeah,
Why is because if it's new, then you have lesser competitors, right?
yes,
So
exactly, exactly,
yeah,
yes,
so you can imagine if now you try to go into X, you won't be seen.
yeah.
There's too many
But why
competitors
did you
there.
choose? Yeah, why did you choose Threads specifically and not, for example, Blue Sky, which is also new currently?
Oh, okay. So it's very simple. I don't really choose. I always ask myself where does all my target audience go to,
Okay.
right? So for me initially, I also have an account in Blue Sky,
Yeah.
I also started off with Threads, and I also have a account in X, but it's really in X it's really posting into a void, into a black hole, right?
Yes.
So
On X. Yes. Yes.
yeah, so but I realized Blue Sky, there are tons of journalists. Essentially,
True.
they are all the people who doesn't like X and
Yes.
Elon Musk, and then all of them just naturally went to Blue Sky. So the people there are not really my target audience,
Yeah.
right? So um and then I found out that Thread is quite has quite a good amount of people who are actually my target audience. They are all solopreneurs,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So in fact, I that's how I start to be more active in Threads from December onwards, last year December.
Yeah.
So from December till now, I grew to about 3,300 followers.
All right. On
Right.
Threads. On
So
Threads.
um
Yeah.
you for those who primarily only manages your Substack, growing in social media is slightly easier than Substack because following one person is less of a um less of an issue than to subscribe to a newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's much difficult to convince someone to subscribe to you
True.
as compared to getting someone to follow you. So when I say 3,000, it's really not a lot. It's
Yeah.
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 So but I find that if you have the correct mechanism, right, the correct lead magnet, you
Yeah.
can attract the right person, your right
Yeah.
target audience,
True.
right? Um so the flow for me, as far as I feel that it worked till now is did I use Threads as the lead gen,
Yeah.
all right, and then people will I gave them two methods
Hmm.
uh to use my product. One method is for them to download my digital product from my Gumroad store,
Okay.
right? You should have seen my Gumroad store. I have like
Yes. You have a lot of
the
the a lot of
yeah,
a lot of
I have like
interesting stuff, and also a lot of
20
free stuff, by the way.
yeah, I
Yeah.
have about 28 or 29 products. I
Yeah.
think 99% are all free,
A
right?
lot of them. Yes.
So and I only have about a handful that are actually paid, right? Of course, under the paid, I also have some that are rather cheap, and some go as high as until about $100.
Yeah.
I and what I do is, if for those who are not familiar with Gumroad, Gumroad actually has a free email system,
Yes.
right? They also have a free workflow system, right?
Yes.
For those who are not familiar, again, workflow is like email sequencing. You can create multiple emails, send 1 day, 2 days, 3 days after purchase or after download.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I actually set up a very elaborate email workflow within Gumroad.
Okay.
Um, that if that there's always people who ask me, why don't you use Kit? I say, oh, because Kit I need to pay.
Okay.
So for Gumroad it's totally free. All
Yes.
right. Okay, so I actually have so whoever download any of my lead magnet, uh, which I
Yeah.
mentioned earlier is over 20, I think 25 or 26 of them are all free lead magnets. Whoever downloads any one of them, they immediately enter into my ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So I have actually I depending on which product they download,
Yeah.
they actually I will actually send them different types of email workflow. There
But
are
you said
five.
that in Gumroad. You said that in Gumroad as automations,
Yes,
right?
it's
Yeah.
entirely automated within
Okay.
Gumroad. So I can send them 5 email sequence, 7 email sequence. My highest is 20 email sequence.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a 20 email sequence.
Okay.
Right. Um so it depends on the product
Yeah.
they downloaded. Some products, um if you all if for those of you who know about lead magnet, basically lead magnet is the step one of your what you want to sell eventually, right? So they download a lead magnet, they gain something from it, they get some immediate transformation. The next step should always be something that you want to offer, right?
Yes. Yes.
So depending on what they download, some lead magnet actually uh, better translate them to the next level.
Yeah.
Whereas some
They
lead
have to be
magnet,
connected. Yes. And the
yes,
same topic. Yeah.
correct. Whereas some lead magnet takes a bit longer because
Mm.
some lead magnet are really far off,
Yeah.
right? So, um, and it's actually legacy, like because when I first started, I had zero idea what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I
It's
was just
normal. Yeah. Like
trying out.
every one of us. Yes.
Yeah, so I was trying out. So um and then some of the lead magnet are really far off. And what I did is I use email workflow to actually uh, bring my target audience into a stage whereby they are ready to purchase my product,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
So
basically use the lead magnet for to start engaging with them and like warm them up a little bit from social
correct.
media, and then try to sell them. But do you, so what products are you trying to sell them? Do you try to sell them also from Gumroad products that are not free?
Yes. Basically, is I think the end game is always Gumroad,
Yeah.
at
Okay.
least for me now.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but Gumroad has been getting more and more expensive, right? So Um, but the good thing is because they have the free email workflow,
Yeah.
right?
That's,
So
yes. It's
so
it's
it,
an automation basically, which we can use very similar to the one that we have in on Git.
yes, correct. In
Yes.
fact, it's um, I mean, of course, we are not talking about aesthetics.
Yeah.
Gumroad has quite ugly emails.
True. Yes.
Okay, but it works. I mean,
It
if you are
works.
looking at the content and the feature, it works, right? So and I find that it flows very well because it has certain integration with the products already. So I can mark this workflow with this particular product,
Yeah.
and I can even connect them. Let's say at a later stage, I so from one email workflow, I can get them to buy and or download another separate lead magnet, and then
Yeah.
from there, that second lead magnet will translate to another email workflow.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you can imagine this giant funnel that eventually
Yes.
funnels them to the two or three paid products that I actually sell.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
do you offer them to subscribe to your Substack, like for a
Yes.
paid subscribe?
So
Yeah.
I try to get I try to get everybody,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So on Threads, if you can see, if you can find my account, you see immediately that I already get try to get people to download to subscribe to my Substack.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a very elaborate lead magnet. It's called Solopreneur Success Hub,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
the moment you subscribe, you'll get the hub, and it's one giant resource
Yeah.
that when people saw it, they say, "Oh, they can easily pay hundreds of dollars for it." Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
how I get people to subscribe to Substack. Um,
Mhm.
if whenever I look at my stats, I find that my growth in Substack now I have about 2,300 subscribers. I think it's quite balanced, 50% from external source and 50% from app.
Okay. Okay.
I also find that uh, I drive. I find that most of the eventual customers are from external source,
Okay. Interesting.
right?
For me,
Yeah,
it's quite the opposite actually. Most of my paid, but for me, Substack is the product, as you said.
correct,
It's
correct,
my,
correct.
and for me, most of the paid subscribers come from Substack. Especially, I think the highest conversion rate I have is from Substack app. So those people
Yes,
comes
yes.
from,
So mine is
yeah.
50 because I um I don't I don't earn my I don't focus the monetization from
Yes. Yes.
Substack paid, right?
Yes.
So my focus has always been the digital products that I sell.
Yeah.
I find it more dynamic. It's not like I don't have a paid Substack. I do have, and I actually I just recently crossed 1,000 annual revenue. So that was something I
Great.
celebrated quite bad.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's still something. Yeah. It's still something.
yeah. But it
Yeah.
was fun. It was fun. Um,
Yes.
yeah. So and uh because of the nature of the products that I sell, the people who subscribe to my Substack who came from the app itself, they
Yeah.
are generally writers, right? And not all of them will be interested in the digital products that I sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike those that I brought in from Threads, for example,
Yeah.
they are full-fledged solopreneurs and they might not be writers also. So
Okay.
they are more they jump into certain products. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, is the difference in target audience, I would say.
Yes, yes, you're very right about this. I was about to ask you how do you how are your digital products connected to your Substack? Are they complementing each other or they're
Oh no,
completely
not really,
different?
not really. But because the
Mm.
content is all about helping solopreneurs
Yes.
create a sustainable business. So
Okay.
the content aligns with the products that I'm selling.
Okay.
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 Of course, at this stage, I still haven't found a very good way to actively sell through my newsletter. I don't really want to sell that much.
Okay.
Um, maybe I can ask you about this. What do you think of um like constantly selling to your subscribers? I actually have read different opinions on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. The truth is that the more you try to sell, the more money you make. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yes, but
I
I don't. I think yeah, I'm not a big fan of those very intrusive and very pushy sales that are you directly offer something
yes,
to
yes, yes, yes.
people. I would I would go with the approach more of delivering value. So even if your email is selling something, it most probably most of my emails have something to sell, but it's at the end of the email and the whole content of the email. At least I'm trying to deliver something like valuable to the
Yes.
reader. So it's a kind of a mix, in between the hard sell email and the value delivery email. So
Mm,
something in
mm,
between. I would go with something like this.
yeah.
I'd like to use that kind of approach. But yeah, I know people who are basically selling with every piece of content that they make.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it gets a bit irritating when you
Yes, yes, it's
when
kind of you
two-third
know.
of the email is selling something, and then you're like,
Yes,
okay, yeah. And yeah. So
yes,
for
yes,
me, I don't sell in all of my e-newsletter. I publish 2 times a week. And I structure it quite I have quite a good structure for it. Every Thursday is AI prompts.
yeah,
My newsletter talks about AI and how certain prompts can help you uh, do more and earn more. And Sunday is more about solopreneur growth, right?
yes, yes,
So usually, I don't sell in all my every issue.
yeah,
I look at the content actually. So sometimes certain content leads to certain product.
yeah.
Um, and then what I'll do is I'll just put a very subtle statement towards the end to say that if you want to find out more or if you are interested in this, I happen to be selling this. Right.
Yes, yes. This kind of a CTA, I think we have to have this at all in every email, basically. And I, although I read a lot and I see a lot of the emails simply don't have that, and I think it's a missed opportunity
Yeah,
because
yeah. I there was once I heard I saw someone commented, and he's actually said that you really need to um, be very intentional in the CTA
Yes.
in every single email. It's not just for you to be able to monetize, but it's also to actually condition the subscriber, to condition them to know that uh, yes, I'm selling, but I'm not trying to hard sell you. I'm just trying to tell you that I have something to sell. If you're interested, just click on the button. But if you're not, then so be it. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's like a form of conditioning, rather than once in a like every month. Every month I publish 8, and if I only put one CTA,
Yeah.
then my subscribers are not actually conditioned to look for the CTA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Well, yeah. For me, copywriting is another science. Basically,
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah.
you can do a lot of things with CTA, and I have seen many approaches, and I have tested also many approaches. Like for example, you could. I'm also a fan of the one single CTA, so one
Yes.
method, so that they don't have to choose. But I have also tried with multiple CTAs, and it's not really working that well. Then I have also seen, so you're not really telling, so breaking all of the rules of the copywriting. You're not telling the reader what to do next, but you're just trying to trigger his curiosity and say something like, if this is something interesting to you, then you might want to find out what's behind this link.
Mm, mm,
Something like
mm. Yeah.
and
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm. I would say, because I have two email platforms, right? So one
Yeah.
is Substack, one is Gumroad.
Yes.
Naturally, my Gumroad emails has a lot higher ROI. Um, Simply because the people who buy from me, they are already buying from me, right? So
Yeah.
people who buy will continue to buy. Um,
True. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
But what's your
So
conversion rate? Do you know from your
um, from Substack, I don't know. I don't really monitor that. Um, but because the emails that I send out in Gumroad and Substack is that they don't send out on the same day. They are actually quite staggered and spread
yeah?
across the whole week. So
Okay.
I would say the ROI probably is about less than 10%, about 5%
That's good. Yeah. That's really good.
For Substack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, depends on what I'm selling, right? Because I suspect um if I eventually I because currently I'm creating another digital product, which is actually a Notion template that helps
Oh,
Substack writers to create better content.
interesting. Great.
Which a lot of you are already having. I've seen so many out there.
Yes.
um yeah, so I think I was just trying to play around with this
Yeah.
very interesting template that I'm building. So I suspect if I want to achieve certain level of higher ROI, I need to be selling again something that the existing subscribers are interested in. So in this case, Substack writers in Substack, they are interested in growing their Substack.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So along that line. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How often do you create a new digital product? How?
oh, okay. When I first started,
Yeah.
I create one a week.
One a week. Okay.
Yes.
A lot. Yes.
When I first started. So I started sovereignty in August 2023. August 2023. And
Yes.
I started my Substack in April 2024.
Okay.
Right. So when I first started, I was like this creating digital products almost every other week.
Okay.
Uh it, I think, of course, that's because like I said earlier, I had zero idea what works and what
Yeah.
cannot work. So I was just like just churning out digital products. Um, but at the later stage, as of now, probably one per quarter.
One per quarter. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one per quarter. Um, I still haven't gotten one superstar product that allows me to stop
Okay.
whatever I'm doing yet. So I will just keep producing.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yes. Until you find what's working. And
Yeah, I mean, uh, some of my products is earning me like there was one particular launch that I did last year in product hunt. So we the digital product people we definitely launched in product hunt.
yeah.
I was able to clock about 2.8K in 24 hours.
All right.
Right.
That's
So
great. Yes.
yeah, so those are the type of, but you see, of course, the difference between this the pure digital product people like us and the Substack writers is that Substack writers you have a the moment you hit certain threshold, right, you realize that your earning is very there's certainty,
Yeah.
right? Whereas for us, we need to fight for sales every month.
Yes. 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 So, no, but once your audience grows, then it becomes easier.
Yes,
It
definitely.
becomes
Yes,
easier.
yes.
Yes.
I so so that's part of my
But what do you do?
why.
How do so you let's say you created a digital product, then how do you approach with the selling? You do you send it to your Gumroad audience and or your Substack audience or both?
Okay, so both, but the email content is very different,
It's
right?
different.
So
Okay.
for Gumroad is I just tell them I have this new product. Do you want to buy?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they are already buyers.
They are buyers. Yes.
To
Okay.
them, receiving an email from Gumroad from Anfernee means there's a product that he wants to sell. So
Yes.
they
Yeah.
are very conditioned. For Substack, I I write content. So I write
Yeah.
something revolving around that particular product. Eventually, for now, mine is a one-liner, lah, right? So, oh, by the
Okay.
way, I sell this. So if you are interested, take a
Yes.
look, or you want to dive deep into this, I have this resource, right?
Yes.
So that's the difference between how I churn out the content for both.
Okay. And which audience buys more? Is it the
Uh, uh,
Gumroad?
yes, as of now, it's still Gumroad,
It's
right?
Gumroad.
So if you, like I said earlier, if you look at the whole funnel, it's actually threads with the as a lead gen.
Yeah.
Substack is still like a nurturing
Yeah.
um, platform. Eventually, because end of the day, I just need them to download something or buy something from my Gumroad, and they enter into my this gigantic flow of emails.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But if somebody goes from Threads, let's say directly to Gumroad, do you import them to Substack or
Yes,
no?
I don't import. Then I hate to import because I don't like to. Just like I don't like people to use my email like
Yeah.
to them all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't like to import. Um, and I will. The only thing I do is I will tell them that by the way I have a Substack. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, because you see, in Gumroad I already have about 15,000 email this, and my Substack is still 3,000, 2,000.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the only thing I've been doing is I will constantly um nag at my
Yeah.
audience and tell them, hey, I have a Substack. Do you want to
Yeah.
subscribe to me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I also have uh, people in Threads and Gumroad
Yeah.
replying me, telling me that, oh, it's in Substack. I don't want to create an account in Substack. That's why I'm not subscribing to you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Then okay,
Yes.
then
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. I feel that we still need to, because I'm trying to and testing different methods to gain external audience to Substack, but I feel we still need to educate people about Substack because it's not really yet.
Yeah, I think
Not
it's
that much people know about it.
correct. I'm from Singapore.
Yeah.
So I do also have a local community for solopreneurs, and when I tell them about Substack, like 80% of them were like, "What is Substack?"
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
there are still tons of opportunities for growth for Substack.
True, true.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to ask you, what about notes? Do you use notes? Because normally we grow our audience through notes, at
Yeah.
least.
I actually uh I do publish in notes.
Yeah.
So I publish I think two to three notes every day actually, non-stop for
No stuff. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
non-stop. Ever since all of
Me
you say
too.
it's very
Yeah.
important, I have been posting notes.
Yes, yes. Yes, I see you a lot. Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I think notes is um to me it's like hit or miss.
Hit or miss, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. I don't think any one of us has found like a secret formula. I think it's really hit or miss. Yeah. Sometimes the note that I feel is okay, a lot of people like.
Yeah.
Some
Yes.
and some of the notes that I wrote and I think that oh this is one of the best note I've ever written, but there's only two like.
Yeah. Yes. Also with me, yes. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
I
I think it's
yeah.
really hit or miss. As of now, I mean, I do acknowledge there are some other writers. Uh, it seems like their notes are uh, get more like. But I don't see a pattern. What about you? Do you see any pattern or?
I'm trying to figure out. I'm constantly trying to figure out any if there's any pattern on notes, and it happens like that just when I figure out what's working, and then it changes.
And if you have like for me, I come from Twitter threads background, right? So I have a bad habit of reposting
Yeah.
that same note. I'm not sure about the rest. I do repost my own notes after 12 hours. Um, and I realized that even if after a few days I post the same note, the 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 same note with the same content posted on different days has different ROI also.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So uh and that proves that there isn't really a very fixed algorithm because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yes. So there's one thing, if I can say just one thing that I figured that works right now. It's when you drive some kind of emotion in this note. Um,
Uh, uh,
so if you try to inspire people or make them angry or give them a different perspective, something that makes them emotional about something that
mm.
bothers them. Like for example, I do have viral notes, what I call
Yeah,
viral.
I know you have a lot.
Yeah. And all of them lately, all of them, that's because I figure out one node that works, and then I try to replicate, and it works, and it continues to work until it stops, and then something changes, and then I have
Yeah. You realize that also, right? It just stopped. And almost immediately it just stopped.
yeah. Yeah. And then so it's just the algorithm changes so often, and I'm not sure if it is the algorithm or the fact that the platform is growing so fast and a
Okay.
lot of new people are coming. Maybe that's also a factor. that is impacting this performance. But right now it's the emotions. Definitely, it's the emotions. And right now it's because so many new people are coming on the platform. My most like viral notes are the ones that where I am telling my journey from the beginning, like when I was a beginner, how my struggles, this kind of
Ah,
beginner
okay.
hell that you have,
Okay.
and
That's
that's
something
that.
I'm very weak in.
Yeah, yeah, you can try. You can try. For
Okay,
example,
I'll
if you
try.
tell your story, yeah, tell your story from the beginning, how you started and what was the struggle and how you kept going, and that's something that brought you to success. Then people resonate. It gives them hope because
Okay.
at that very moment, a lot of people are thinking to give up, like every one of us. I have also at the beginning, it's so difficult that at some point you think, well, there's no point, I maybe it's
Yes,
not
yes.
my thing, maybe it's not for me or something like that. And when I post something, some kind of note that shows that road and that transformation, it's really inspiring people.
Mm.
And I get a lot of comments like something like, I needed to hear this, or I needed to read this today, thank you, and it's making my day.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
I,
sweet.
I, I do get that, but definitely not as often as you.
Yeah, it's coming from those notes. But then I also have another example. So I had a note writing, comparing Substack with Medium,
Ah,
where I say that Substack is different from Medium, and you cannot simply just write. You need to basically have an offer and solve problems so that you can gain paid subscribers, because my content is focused on paying paid subscribers and paid
yes.
newsletters. And it got kind of viral, but the comments were, I would say, half negative and half positive. So I really,
No,
so I
that is also correct because that drives emotion.
emotion, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Whether it's positive or negative,
exactly.
you ignite certain emotion in people.
Yes, yes. So all of the people who are coming from Medium and cannot really figure out Substack yet, so all
Ah,
of them were like, "We are here only to write. We don't want to sell.
yeah, yeah,
Stop
yeah, yeah.
talking
They
like
have that.
this."
I heard that a lot.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
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 it's
and,
really,
and you see recently that I think for the past few months there are like influx of new writers,
yes,
right? So and then all of them are using the method of like I'm looking for this in the
yeah.
Substack.
Yes, 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 yes. And also, I got a lot of links. So people are just simply sending me links in the chat, or
Yeah,
commenting on
so
my
they are
notes.
trying to write on our notes
Yeah,
to post
yeah,
their stuff. Oh my god.
yes, yes, yes. It's,
No, I
so
mean if they post relevant stuff, I'm okay.
me too. Yeah,
Yeah, but if they come in and post like totally irrelevant
yeah,
BS, then it's like so weird.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
it
usually
confuses my
delete those.
reader. It
Yeah,
confuses my subscriber as well.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So every time I'll just
Delete.
delete.
Yeah. Yes, me too. Me too. Yes.
So
Okay.
you have been growing. Yeah, yeah. I think you are the first few people I follow when I first started.
Thank
Of
you.
course,
Right.
that of course you together with Christina,
Yes.
Veronica,
Yeah.
and Maya. You know
Yeah, we
the
came more or less
the
in the same
few
time.
of you who are
Yeah.
the goats of Substack.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So all of us when we come in, we should see you or all of you, few of you.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for that. Look, can I want to ask you one more thing today. Could you, if you can, of course, and if you remember, could you tell a little bit? I'm sure it's going to be interesting for people to understand. How did you make those $2,000 in 24 hours? Like, what was the exact flow? What was the product? How did you promote
Okay.
it? Yeah.
Okay. So that was in Product Hunt.
Okay.
Um. So are you familiar with Product Hunt?
I know it. Yes, product hunt. Yes, it's
Yeah.
so you upload it there as well, right?
Yeah. So Um, Product Hunt is probably even till now one of the best platform for explosive growth. Because that's where everybody looking for new products to be in there.
Okay.
Um, but there are there are 101 things you need to do to ensure that the launch is a good launch. I'm not an expert, but there are a couple of things I can share with you all. So,
Yeah.
so Product Hunt, you got to have a digital product.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can't launch Substack there.
Yeah.
For those of you who are interested, you can figure out how to uh, create a digital product. For subscribe to my newsletter because I teach you how to create news digital product.
Yes. Please
Um,
subscribe to Anfernee. She has amazing content. Yes.
yeah. So Product Hunt. There's a couple of key things we need to understand is a Product Hunt. For smaller player like us,
Yeah.
we should launch on the weekend
Okay.
because the big players launch on weekdays on their
Okay.
office during their office hour.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's
So
interesting to know. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Really.
and our aim is we must hit the top 10,
Yeah. But
right?
for how much time do you have
Within
some
24 hours.
24 hours? Yes.
Yes,
That.
the launch, the the whole entire play is 24 hours.
Yeah.
The moment you hit submit, you have to the 24 hours start on the 12-hour clock midnight.
Okay.
Okay, so we
Okay.
always launch on midnight. And what we do is we want to try to ensure there are at least 100 likes,
100 likes. Okay.
100 upvote in the Product
In
Hunt
24 hours.
within 24 hours for you
Okay.
to make it into the top 10. The moment you make it into the top 10, you will have a natural growth because if you open up the Product Hunt app, the top 10 is always featured in the when you log
Okay.
in,
All right.
right? So that naturally you get the eyeball of more people, and then it will snowball. The effect will snowball into
Okay.
to help you grow. So your aim is to hit the top 10, and then your aim is to get 100 upvotes.
All right.
So you don't try to do it during the hunt. You actually have a 3 month or 2 months planning already. Before
Okay.
the launch, you're already trying your best to gather 100 people already.
Okay. Okay. To like this. Yes. On
Yes,
product.
like make them promise you that they will upvote,
Okay. All right. Okay.
right? Find your relatives and your.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, I don't know about you. I don't have 100 relatives, so and
Me
and
too. No. At least not
and when
that are very good with internet. So. So yeah.
and I'm sure you know it's not easy even with a 10,000 subscriber because
No.
to make someone to click and click and click 3 times to do something, it's like it's going to be very tough.
It is. Yes. It's not really easy to use that platform. True.
Yeah, so in short, what I did is I spent about 1.5 months um trying to get people to interested to be in the to upvote for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, from my experience, even from the so in order to get 100 upvotes,
Yeah.
you should get 300 people interested
Okay. All right.
because the percentage. So you thinking that, oh, I get 100 people, then this 100
Yeah.
people reply, you say, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. But they don't.
Yeah, not 100% of them will go and upload
Yes.
on that day.
True. Yes. Yes.
Right.
Very.
So from my experience, I only launched a few times, but from my experience, it's about one third, 30% of the time.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
means if I want 100 upvotes, I must look for 300 players,
Okay.
right? And uh and the launch day is mad rush because the moment you launch the product, you want to quickly email these 300 people,
Yeah. Yes,
or
to
or
immediately go and like. Yes,
yes,
yes.
or DM them, or tell them, or beg them,
Yeah,
or
yes, yes.
threaten them.
If you have to, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you
yeah,
put your Gumroad there on Product Hunt, and you
correct. So from the product hunt, they will click, they will upvote, and then whoever wants to buy, they will just click on the link. They'll go to Gumroad.
to Gumroad. Okay.
Yes. Um, it used to be very good for product hunt, but then since I think early last year, product hunt classify Notion template as a non-featureable product,
Okay.
which means we can publish, uh, we can launch in product hunt, but even if I'm in the top 10, they won't feature us.
They want. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because they look at Notion as a partial product. They are
All right.
looking at SaaS products to be a
Okay.
pure digital product, right?
Yeah. I
Which is
also
why,
know they want more of tools or some kind of a software or something like that that goes
yes,
well.
more of a SaaS software,
Yes. Yes.
right? Which is why since last year, September, I stopped publishing in Product Hunt already,
Okay.
right? Because it's not, the ROI is not there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can, even if I have 200 upvotes, I won't be featured. So it's really not,
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, um, so I've
But for
been,
that product, did you used Product Hunt, the one that made you about 2,000 and a little
yeah,
bit more in 24 hours? So it was through Product Hunt.
yes, it's from Product Hunt. So
Yeah.
within 24 hours, I was able to reach top 10. I
Okay.
think the highest I reached is number 7 position,
But that's great. Yeah.
right?
That's
And then the whole thing just, it just automatically right
snowballs.
on the
Yes.
yeah, it
Yes.
just snowball, um and then people, more eyeballs means more people
More.
buying. Yeah, it's a very straightforward maths problem.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was not your email list or nothing like that. It was just.
uh, Email release is very important because that was through that I managed to find uh
Yes.
the 100 people.
The initial likers. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually maintain quite a good relationship with my Gumroad uh clients,
Clients.
right?
Yes. Okay.
So and quite a fair bit of them also eventually become my affiliate. So Gumroad also has a affiliate program.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh, yeah. So and then I would it's my habit to always, if I have a product, pre-launch product, like I just launched my second brain last week.
Yeah.
I actually sent out to my Gumroad clients first
Yeah.
because they were previously buyers,
Yes.
right? And I give them a special discount as well,
Launch
right?
price. Yeah.
Um, eh, Launch price, and on top I give them more discount, I think,
More discount. Okay.
right? Yeah, simply because they were my customers before, right?
Yes.
So I think it's a way to thank them as well,
Yeah.
right? Thank them for not unsubscribing me.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
correct.
really
So that's
important.
how I do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, interesting. It's really. I think you're the first one that I discussed Gumroad in such a detail, and the first one that I know that has a successful Gumroad with email marketing and those automations.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's
I There
really
was once
amazing.
someone commented.
Yeah.
He say in all his years using Gumroad, he think that I am the only one who actually make full use of the email sequences.
More, probably yes, probably. I, for example, when we discussed, because if you remember, I also posted one. So we briefly discussed your Gumroad. You gave me some ideas
Yes,
about
yes.
increasing, yes, the percentage of Gumroad incentive to promote my product, and if it is free it has more chances, but then Gumroad now just made it fix this percentage, so I
Yes,
couldn't.
correct.
But then I remember that I had two products which are very old products, which I remember that I set very high percentages for them,
Yeah.
but after a while I made them paid and not free. Uh,
Ah,
and after our conversation, I got the idea to put them back to zero, so to make
ah,
them free,
yeah,
and then most probably have their higher percentages for Gumroad. And then I wrote something on, I think on Substack. I wrote an article, and it really happened. It really worked. I think also Gumroad started to promote those products, and because they are free, people started downloading them.
yes.
And then I don't use the
It
email
is.
automations like you. I'm not, probably I have to think of some workflows on Gumroad, but
Ah,
I do have upsells after
yes,
my. So when you buy a free product, you have an upsell,
correct.
and I got some. I made a pretty decent sales that day. It was amazing. So I got really inspired and posted that note, and
Okay.
giving you credit for this because it was
Thank you,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah. But look, I think you should write more about Gumroad also. I think a lot of people can learn from you about those things. It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
maybe. I think I think I need to get over this. Someone also told me before, you say you can write anything. Don't look at your knowledge as thinking that everybody knows. There are always people who doesn't know.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
so
you know it and you feel that it's so simple and everybody should know it, but it's not. A lot of people don't really.
yeah,
It's new to
that's
them.
what I always think. I have that mental mindset
Yeah.
that tells me that, oh, don't write about this. It's so simple, everybody will know. So I always think that way.
Yeah. Well, you have to fight that. You have to fight that.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Yes. Really. Really. Well, yes, thank you so much for this live, Anfernee. It was amazing. I think people will love it. So
Okay,
much,
thank
so
you.
many things they can learn from you. And yes, for all of you who are watching, already 63 people, please subscribe to Anfernee, as he has a lot of things to share, and it's highly valuable for all of us who are building online. Really, thank you
Thank
for
you, thank
for
you.
thank you for
Thanks
sharing
for
all
having
this.
me.
Of course, it was my
It
pleasure.
was it was very enjoyable talking to you.
Thank
I
you.
didn't expect that we can talk for 1 hour.
Yeah, can you imagine? And that's your first live. It's awesome.
Yes, it's my maiden life, and I
Yes,
gave it
yes.
to you.
Thank you so much. I'll keep it with love. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
Anthony.
Bye, everybody.